Hello, everyone, and welcome to Educational Wednesday. Today, we are going to be setting up Google Ads with Google Tag Manager. My name is Ron Sherbert. I'm with Marketing for Higher Education, and we help universities and colleges increase their enrollments and reduce their marketing costs using tools like Google Analytics 4 and Google Tag Manager and other platforms. And before we get started, we always want to talk about the framework because you need a good framework and system to be really good at measurement. And I learned this framework and system from Chris Mercer from measurementmarketing.io. So I always like to give him credit for it. Remember, in this industry, we stand on the shoulders of giants. So everybody starts off here marketing the blind, and everybody wants to be here where they can predictably increase their enrollments and reduce their costs and know what's going to happen before it happens. And not only that, but they know why it happens and they know why it didn't happen if it doesn't happen. So before we get started, there's 3 phases to the framework. There's the plan, the build, and the launch. In the plan, there's questions, information, and action. You have questions you want to get answered. You need information to answer those questions. And you always want to take action on the information that you get from answering those questions. Then we have the results, the traffic, and the story. The traffic is the who, the what, and the why. Who is sending you traffic? What type of traffic are they sending you? And why are they sending you that traffic? And then we jump into launch, where you are listening to the conversation that your visitor is having with your website. Then it's the forecast, where you're always measuring against the forecast to see if you hit your results. And you want to know if you did make it, if you did hit your forecast, you want to know why you did it. And if you didn't hit your forecast, you want to know why you didn't. And then we're at the last page, is the optimize. And this is where everybody wants to be. And this always helps when you just meet the visitor's expectations. So let's jump into it. Setting up Google Ads with Google Tag Manager. Here we are back in Google Tag Manager, a demo account. And we're going to come over to the tags where we have been hanging out in this section. And we're going to click on the Google Ads, and we're going to start with Google Ads Remarketing. So when I click on here, you notice I get this little symbol right here, and it says that the conversion linker tag is missing. Let me back out here for 1 second and come over to our tags again. And as you can see right here is the conversion linker. And this is where you could set it up. But if you don't have it set up, it will automatically show up where it just did. And we'll show you what happens when that happens. So hit the remarketing, and it says the conversion linker tag is missing. You just click this create button, and it automatically creates it for you, just like when you clicked on the other way. Now, it's automatically set up, has its trigger and everything. One of the things I will say is down here, if you are going to be tracking across multiple domains, you would click this box right here, and you would put your domains that you will track across, like abc.com, comma, 123.com, comma, and zzz.com, and that would be it. And that's all you would have to do. Now, those aren't real, so we'll just get rid of those. Everything else you don't have to do. You can just keep it right here. There are some advanced settings. Again, you just want to get going. We'll talk more about this in Beyond Basics. So over here, we would just give this a name. It would be GADS, and we would call this the conversion linker. And we would save it. So now this brings us back into our remarketing tag. And over here, you have your conversion ID. And I believe I already have mine copied. So I'll just paste it right in there. Conversion label is optional. We don't use it. Down here, you have more advanced settings. Nothing to really do here. the most important thing up here, you're going to set up your triggering, and your trigger will be your all pages. And of course, you'll name this with the naming convention. Ours is GAds, and we will call this remarketing. Now, you may want to name this if you have multiple accounts or you're remarketing a certain product, then you may just want to rename this a little bit. We'll click save right there. So now, as you can see, we have GAds and we have GA4 and we have our naming convention. So everything's in order. Anything that has to do with Google Ads, we'll be able to find with this naming convention. So we're going to come back over to the tags. And now we're going to set up Google Ads conversion tracking. Okay. So we're going to click on that. And again, it's going to ask us for a conversion ID. We just set that up. So we'll paste that in again. And over here, it's going to ask you for your conversion label. If you're not sure where to get this, you can click on these question marks right here, and they will take you to a page. And I like this one right here, the marketing, because when you come down here, it gives you all the things that you would need and where you would find this. So as you can see, you would find your ID right here, and you would find your label down here too, and it just tells you where you're going to find everything. This would be your label right there. So let's go back to our thing. Click on here. I have my conversion label up here, and click on this right here, and we will paste that right in right there. Okay. So conversion value, you can give it a value if you'd like, and you can hard code it with just a 1. Now, we don't give it values. Now, also, if you wanted to use a monetary value, you could do the transaction ID and currency code. Most people won't do that. Most people won't even give it a value if you're just tracking leads. So on ours, we're not going to give it nothing. We'll just get rid of that. And now how you're going to trigger this will depend on where you want to do it, whether it's a lead form, thank you page, a more info page. On this one, we're just going to do a thank you page. So we have this thank you page right here, and that we're going to set up there. And again, we will do GAds conversion tracking. And we will put thank you. And we'll save that. So now we would check to see if this is working. We'll hit the preview and connect it. And we'll open up our demo site. Let's continue right here. And as you can see, our conversion link are fired. Google Ads remarketing fired, just the way they should, because that's what we're looking for. And now the one we're looking for is the thank you. And if we come over here and it says, thank you for joining, I believe this is the one we would have. Let's click over here and we should see this. So there you see your Google Ads conversion. Thank you. And now you have your Google Ads set up. That is going to wrap up this Wednesday educational training. And today we learned how to set up Google Ads with Google Tag Manager. Every Wednesday we offer free content. If you want to subscribe, just go to mhe.tips/subscribe, or you can go to marketingforhighereducation.com/subscribe. If you have any suggestions for any topics that you want us to cover in the future, please let us know. Or if you have any questions about your measurement that you could use help with, don't be afraid to reach out to us. One of the questions we normally get is, how can we help universities? Well, we have 3 services. We have a do-it-yourself, where we have courses for beginners, GA4 and Google Tag Manager, and we are working on some advanced courses. And we also have one-on-one training where we meet with your team and we train them one-on-one to set up the measurement that you want and to build the in-house measurement team. And we have a done for you service where we are basically your measurement department. As we mentioned, if you have any suggestions or questions, you can reach out to me at ron@marketingforhighereducation.com, and either myself or a team member will get back to you. And that's going to wrap up this Wednesday's episode of Educational Wednesday, setting up Google Ads with Google Tag Manager. We'll see you next Wednesday.